The views and opinions expressed at the visa section are solely those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the official views or positions of the company. All content provided by the hosts and guests reflects their personal opinions and is not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.
Hi, welcome to the visa section here on Enhanced Down Under. I'm Anna, your host, and I am a qualified education agent counselor at Enhanced NT, a migration and visa specialist here in Darwin. I hope you all had a great long weekend. Here in Australia, we had that extra day off for the King's birthday, and I hope it gives everyone a chance to recharge. So the cooler weather is definitely here, jackets are out, and windows are finally staying open, and that classic territory drive season vibe is settling in. So we're back, fresh from the break, and ready to dive in today's episode. Let's get into it. All right, so our topic of discussion for today may be controversial because it tackles mainly about education agents like me. Who decides about quality, education agents, and the question of increased regulation? So, education agents like myself help students apply to study in Australia. They explain courses, we help in preparing documentations and guide visa applications. So many agents are honest. Again, many. They are honest and they genuinely do good work. But some give wrong advice or act only for profit. That is the sad reality of it. So because of that, the quality of education agents is important to protect students and Australia's reputation. Today's episode asks a big question: who decides what makes a quality education agent? In Australia, education agents play a big role in international students. I guide my students, my clients in their academic pathways. So that begins from choosing what program or what courses they want to take, what schools, and which state, and even the lifestyle or cost of living in their target state. So our ultimate goal, of course, is to lodge their visa application, and then once lodged, we still guide them and hopefully we get that visa grant. So how do we get the visa grant? Of course, with quality application, quality of documents that we are submitting, and very good GTE or statement of purpose. So again, many agents are legit and they put their heart into it. But unfortunately, there are also cases where students were given poor advice or pushed into courses that don't help them. I can cite one example. They are a family of 4 who came to Darwin more than a year ago. That is to accompany the eldest child who at that time would be taking a bachelor degree. When I asked how come, they went to us, of course, because their visa got refused and they didn't know what to do. And unfortunately, their agent, they can no longer contact them. So they're lost. They don't know what are the next steps to take to be able to move forward. Because, of course, they don't want to waste their money. While I was looking at the application, I said the application was sort of about construction, something. And then I asked the client, is this really, why did you choose this course? Is this something that's your passion or your interest, or do you have any background in it? One of the saddest answer answers that I heard was this. My agent pushed that course to me, that program to me, because they said that would give me a PR pathway. And they said I would most likely get my visa grant because of that course, which is, they say, very in demand in Australia. When they come here, they found out that the college unfortunately has no capacity to teach or to be able to deliver the course, and eventually they got this visa refusal. The course or the program that was pushed to the student was so far from his interest. He actually has background in cookery, as he worked in restaurants back in his home country. So you see the huge gap. The background is way different to the course that was pushed to him. And the main reason that I see, and was also mentioned to them by their previous agent, was you have to be enrolled in that course at that particular college because that is our partner school. Meaning that agent would get a commission if they are able to enroll students to that college, to their partner school, without even thinking of the future of their client, of this student. So that's one. And there's also an increased call for regulation because after COVID, international students started returning to Australia in large numbers. When they started opening the gates of Australia, I think that was early 2023 or late 2022. Economically, perspective, at the perspective of, economically perspective, that's great for our schools and that's good for business. But some students face problems like poor housing, mental health issues, or being misled by agents who just wanted commissions. Education agents like myself, we get commissions from partner schools. But some, they lose sight of what is moral. They go after commissions without even thinking the future or the welfare of their clients. And that's very anomalous. That's very immoral. For a qualified education agent like myself, I do not tolerate that action because those are one of the reasons why Australia is now tightening their visa, why Australia is now implementing tighter visa rules. So some students, they face problems, again, like I mentioned earlier, poor housing, mental health issues. They flocked here in Australia, excited when they came here. But, when they arrived, the campus life is way different pre-pandemic. It's no longer as lively, or some are no longer even offering face-to-face classes. And let's admit it, those students, they come here because they want interaction. And it's a surprise to them that most of their classes are just online. It's a sad reality. Sometimes when we visit our partner schools, the campus corridors are most of the time empty. It's no longer like pre-pandemic times that campuses are filled with students on a daily basis. Because now they call it hybrid. So it's a combination of online class and physical face-to-face class. So when you enroll here, sometimes depending on your program, you only come twice or thrice a week, and then the rest you can, just modular. You can do on a modular or, self-paced study. So in Sydney and Melbourne, international students are living in overcrowded apartments due to housing shortages. Housing shortages, by the way, is one of the reasons why the Home Affairs is implementing tighter visa rules or visa restrictions, because somehow students are being blamed for poor housing. So yeah, mental health issues. Some are, of course, adding to mental health problems is the difficulty of finding jobs that are aligned to their courses. So unfortunately, some students, they get frustrated when they are unable to find, what do you call that? Sometimes like an OJT or on-the-job training that are aligned to their program. Just to get money, just, to be able to support themselves more, they are forced to get whatever job that they can grab on. That adds to their mental health stress. And, there are, these stress or mental health issues are often linked to poor support or false expectations. Some colleges or universities, they offer this mental health support, or they have faculty to support students who are undergoing or experiencing stress or having difficulty adjusting. Some, especially those that are dodgy, as I may call it, colleges or fly-by-night colleges, diploma mill, they say in their website or on their website that they have student support, but when you avail it, most of the time it's non-existent. So that's the reality of what the students are facing. Some of the students are facing. So these false promises often start with agents. You may be wondering, how come their agent did not even explain that it's their responsibility? You're correct in that. It's the agent's responsibility to ensure that the school has the capacity to support the students. But then again, some agents are not really careful enough, or they do not really exhibit or show concern to their students' welfare, that they just dump there to colleges as long as that college or that school is like a partner where they can earn commission per student. And these false promises often starts with agents, and now the government and schools are asking, who's watching the watchers? Who is regulating the students? And these days, the government is paying more attention, not only to the students, but to how they get here in the first place. Who advised them? And what promises were made? This is what we mean by scrutiny, meaning the government, they are now more on scrutinizing the system of the education agents. They are taking a closer look on how these students are guided by education agents or even migration agents. So Australia has, seen a big rise in international students after COVID-19, but this rapid growth has also caused problems. And people are asking, why scrutinize? Because students are coming not for real education. Some of the students are not coming for real education, but just to work or stay in Australia. I've encountered a lot of that. When people, they inquire to me, I want to become a student. And then when I ask them, okay, what is your age? I'm 38. You're past the age of being a student. Why not? Why do you want to study here? Because I want to work in Australia. You see, when you apply for a student visa, you come here to study and not to work. So, that to stay, to be able to work, is often influenced by agent advice. Unfortunately, because some agents would offer a student visa and would paint it as a pathway towards permanent residency or towards obtaining a skilled visa. So the government and schools now want to look more closely at who is recruiting students and how.
From portraits to event coverage, DKJ Photo Studio offers exceptional photography services tailored to your needs. Book your session today and experience the difference with DKJ Studio. Contact us at 0410151547 or visit us at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT.
You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Substack. Give us a thumbs up if you find this podcast helpful. All right, to continue, let's talk about self-regulation versus government rules. Self-regulation means the industry takes care of itself, which is, the current setup. For example, ICEF or ICEF offers agent training, and Australia has the Agent Code of Ethics or ACE. Agents like me take QEAC training to show we follow professional standards. That is like a self-paced training. Mine, it took me about almost a month to complete it. So, but some agents, especially offshore meaning they are outside of Australia, they skip these kind of trainings. Some of them are not QEAC. Well, you cannot blame them because for them maybe they consider it as time consuming. So maybe they say that it's a practical skill that I can just acquire as I get on with my job. But still having undergo a professional training, although a bit costly, it helps you become more professional and it builds your integrity as a QEAC. So some offshore agents, they skip those kind of trainings, the QEAC. And in one case, a school found that over 40% of applications from a certain country, of course I'm not going to name it anymore, came through agents with no training or official contact with the school. That's very scary. An agent recruiting international students to study in Australia without even having a professional training or not even contacting the actual school that they are going to recommend to that student. How they are going to expect to be able to guide students properly, right? So what could better quality look like? How are we going to ensure producing good quality QEAC? One idea is a universal code of conduct. Like think of it like the MARA or the Immigration Agent Registration Association. The immigration agents here in Australia, they have this association, and it's like they follow a certain code of conduct. The immigration agents, and they have clear rules and real consequences, of course, if they behave unprofessionally. So another example is mandatory agent training. If all counselors had to complete training, like the QEAC or PIER certification, we can prevent misinformation. The current setup is being a QEAC is optional. Like again, if you want to build your profile or become more reliable and you have that certain credentials, you can do the QEAC training. But again, it's optional. And the government is looking at making it a mandatory. So government regulation would mean having official rules and penalties for bad behavior. This could include agent licensing, reporting requirements, and public lists of trusted agents. I like that idea, the public list of trusted agents. QEAC like me, you can find our names in this QEAC listing, those certified quality education agent counselors. And they have that, and I like it that ICEF was able to build that database, which is searchable online. So me, I am a qualified education agent counselor. You can search my name on Google, and even my license number or my certificate number 12565, and then my name would appear on the official website of ICEF, showing that yes, I am a qualified education agent counselor. So I hope the government would push that regulation or would push that idea, because that would be a great relief for parents and international student applicants. So What's better, a flexible agent-led system or a stricter government-controlled one? Well, the truth is, we probably need both. We have to strike a certain balance. With self-regulation means agents and institutions create their own rules, codes of conduct, and training without needing government control. Like, for example, ICEF agent training. And the benefit of that is we have it's flexible and faster to manage. Like, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's self-paced. It's something that you can do after work. You can study, you can do after work, and you can even schedule the exam. I think you can schedule it on a weekend. But as for the government oversight, means rules are set by law with possible penalties for bad practices. For example, licensing or requiring registration of agents with a government body. And I see that the benefit would be stronger protection for students. I am all for it. If international students would be protected, my own opinion, let's go for it. Anyway, it's not always about basing on money or commission. Being able to build your reputation as as someone who is reliable and a certified QEAC, that is something. Because I personally don't want to be greedy. I'm looking at the longer term, that people would come to me because they know that I am legit and I'm not just going to give them advice and put them at a college where I would get commission without even thinking of what would happen next. So, however, I still believe that balance is needed. And Australia is now asking, should we keep trusting agents to do the right thing, or should we create official laws to control them? So, how are these measures be implemented? Experts suggest 3 things to make agent quality stronger. 1, a clear and simple code of conduct, mandatory training for counselors, and a global accreditation system to recognize good agents. So these tools, it helps students, schools, and governments know who to trust. And to improve the trust and quality in international educations, experts suggest that accreditation schemes, it would help a lot. Agents who meet high standards can be listed as trusted or certified. I think, being able to come up with a certification, that is a plus factor. Like here in our office at Enhance NT, when you visit my boss's office, you would see our certificates. Her certificate as a MARA, registered migration agent, and my certificate as a QEAC.
Whether you're hosting a special event in our function hall, holding meetings or workshops in our multi-purpose room, bringing your ideas in our shared workspace, or capturing memories in our professional photo studio, we have it all in one place. We'll help turn your vision into reality. Contact us at 0410151547 for details, or visit us at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. DKJ Studio, your hub for creativity and events.
We are located at 590 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. You can contact us at skills@enhancent.com.au. Our phone number is 0879792352. And exciting news for Darwin businesses. Our podcast is accepting sponsored ads, giving you the perfect platform to reach a highly engaged audience. Whether you are a local cafe, a service provider, insurance company, or a growing brand, we will help you connect with potential customers through our episodes. Promote your business with us here at the Visa section. Contact us at 61410-151-547. Okay, to continue. In 2024, Australia's Department of Education began reviewing international student recruitment practices. So there's talk of agent registration, data sharing with providers, and even joint regulation with offshore partners. Education providers are acting too. Some universities now require agents to complete annual training and submit quarterly reports on recruitment practices. Here at the Northern Territory, there is a regular gathering of education agents all over Australia, which is hosted and organized by Study NT. So it's a regular meet-up where they introduce qualified education agents to colleges and to potential students. I suggest that you follow the page of Study NT. You will also have get a glimpse of quality education agents that they don't really recommend them, but the fact that they are invited by Study NT, it means a lot. It shows that they are legit. So that would give you an idea who to contact if ever you want your children to go to international schools or study here in Australia. The Australian government and education providers are experiencing pressure to act. They must protect, of course, the students from exploitation, institutions from damage to reputation, and Australia's image as a safe, high-quality study destination. And the Home Affairs, they are acting harshly on this matter, which I don't blame them for doing so, because they say that the quality of international education in Australia is being affected by some bogus education agents and even fly-by-night colleges. They just offer diploma, and without you even attending their school, you would be able to get a certificate, which, you get this Australian qualification, but in reality, you did not learn anything. So that's why the government is acting fast about this matter, and they're scrutinizing the international education these days, particularly the education agents. So what is happening? We may soon see tighter visa screening. We are experiencing that now. Official agent licensing, I hope that would come soon. And public watch lists on bad agents. I so look forward to that. Because personally, these bad agents, they have to be exposed so as to avoid victimizing more international students. In conclusion, should it be regulated or self-regulated? If I were to be asked, both are needed. Self-regulation has helped many agents stay professional by following codes of ethics and taking training. I can personally attest to that. But it is not enough to stop bad practices, especially when agents work overseas and there are no real penalties. So yes, regulation is necessary. Australia must introduce stronger rules and checks like agent registration, reporting requirements, and clear penalties for misconduct. And at the same time, self-regulation should continue with trusted agents doing training, getting certified, and following ethical codes. This mix of government oversight and industry responsibility will protect student support good agents and keep Australia's education system trusted and safe. So, for me, education is a bridge, and let's make sure that bridge is safe and strong and leads to a better future, not confusion or broken promises. As agents, educators, and students, we must all take part in making that happen. And again, I believe that we should strike a certain balance. We would highly appreciate if the government would step in to make sure that bad agents would be controlled, would be exposed, and at the same time support the legit agents. That wraps up our episode for today. Thank you for staying with us.